Let your light and truth both show. You are love, you are home. You've always been whole. You are. Let your light and truth. You remember who you've always been. Oh. This is wisdom in flow. You remember who you've always been.
This is Wisdom in Flow, not just a name, but a sacred movement, a soul awakening, a call home. We are here to remember that we are more than stories, more than skin, more than survival. We are divine identities, coded in stardust and soulfire. We live in alignment with the infinite, removing ancient wisdoms and in harmony with collective purpose. Our mission is to reveal the Christ within, to awaken the God seed in every soul, to equip a new humanity, sacred, relevant, and impactful engagement across every sphere of life. Here at Wi-Fi, love is unconditional, trust is a frequency, faith is a force, and power flows where truth lives. This is Wisdom in Flow, where the divine rises, and you remember who you've always been. Stay connected with us, to live aligned, love deeply, and flow divinely. Our core values are divine love, radical oneness, conscious awakening, and transformative service. We believe that all of life flows from and within the universe's divine essence, a loving, omnipresent, and inclusive presence, expressed fully in every soul. Each person is a living temple of God. And our sacred practice is to see and express the divine in ourselves and all of life. This is love in action. We affirm a unified world where no one is excluded, no soul is opposed by darkness, and no power stands outside of love. We equally believe in the urgency to awaken humanity to the good news of their redemption, a divine invitation to rise from the inferior expression of life to the most radiant, attractive, and abundant life possible. Our calling is to embody this truth and co-create reality where spirit flows freely, purposefully, and powerfully. Father, Mother, God, the embodying presence of all life, may the forces within me now become just and attentive to your divine promptings. That I may always be awake to power with your spiritual presence. Father, Mother, God, lift my entire life into conscious union with you, renewing me daily in the spirit of love, forgiveness, and fullness of joy. In this body temple of me, in which you live, let your goodwill shine forth through my aura, redeeming, consecrating, and perfecting all I see, touch, and relate with. All of the holy thoughts, my Father, Mother, God, take up the wings of the wind, and in a flash of lightning minister his angels to my soul. God, you are the light, the power, and eternal blessing. In you I live always, and to you be all glory forever. In the center of the universe, within the vastness of my soul, I evoke thee to come forth, O God of all life, all wisdom, all power, all love, and all splendor to flourish through my laudable undertaking. I am one of thee, O great spirit of spirits, because the fullness of you embodies my soul. Let your power, love, and presence shine radiantly through me, guiding all my ways and divine ambitions to reveal the brightness of your day. Abiding in center of you, most adorable God, my will and courage are energized by a dream of beauty and power. My ways are filled with holy influence as I give expression to all your divine attributes within me. In union with you, and your power always works through me. Nothing, the entire universe, opposes my good. All things work for the fulfillment of my will. The spirit of the air is merged in the life presence of God to me, renewing my soul, mind, and body. The spirit of the fire is merged in God's transforming and transmutating grace through me, making me bright as I absorb holy learning from pain. The spirit of the water is ministering God's restoring grace to my life, and I am ever purified and reborn with the fullness of the God presence. The spirit of the earth is ministering God's stabilizing love in my soul. In the fullness of my Godhead, I'm radiantly perfect in the midst of the elements. I successfully create my will to the glory of God. A God, the flame of divine love and wisdom, purifies my mind and will. You have become the health of my soul, mind, and body. All of life is assembled, working for my highest good, and my life is becoming the never-ending, ever-revealing glory of the mighty magic presence. I take authority over my life and bless every condition I go through to reveal the greater good in my life. To you, O Father, Mother, God, the Most Holy, who is the facets of my soul, be all praise and glory throughout the ages. To your name, your might and power without end. Amen.
Amen and amen. God richly bless you, Joshua, and every one of you for being part of today's Vitality service. I want you to remain in this atmosphere. Close your eyes. Take a slow, deep breath in and release gently. Again, inhale and exhale. Now let the body drop its weight. No effort, no control, no performance, just awareness. Feel this. You are not preparing to meditate. You are returning to what you are. Now bring your awareness inward. Not imagining, not creating, but noticing. There is a space within you, silent, vast, unmoving. Allow yourself to sink into it. Deeper, and as you go inward, you expand. This is the paradox. The deeper within, the wider existence becomes. You are entering the womb of creation. Now feel you are held in a living field, warm, still, intelligent. Nothing is missing here. Nothing is broken here. This is the origin point. Before identity, before conditioning, before effort. Here, life does not struggle. It simply forms. Now breathe slowly. Inhale. Hold gently. Exhale longer. Again, breathe slowly. Inhale. Hold gently. And exhale longer. Each breath returns you to original coherence. Now become aware of anything held in the body. Tension, emotion, weight, old impressions. Do not analyze. Do not fix. Just notice. Now understand, nothing needs to be pushed out. The womb does not reject, it transforms. So now on your next exhale, allow everything to soften and dissolve. No force, only permission. Again, exhale, release deeper. Let the nervous system unwind. Let identity loosen. Let the past lose its grip. Now allow this truth to settle, not as ideas, but as reality. You exist and always will. Everything is here now. All is one, and you are not separate. What you are is what you experience. Everything changes, but truth remains. Feel this. You are not navigating life. You are generating experience. Now feel. From this stillness, your body begins to recalibrate. Breath deepens. Energy reorganizes. Cells receive new instruction. You are not repairing yourself. Life is restoring itself through you. Let this happen. Do nothing. Now silently affirm, I release what I am not. I return to what I am. Feel the shift. Now sense a new state emerging. Not imagined, not forced, natural. Clarity, lightness, stability, vitality. This is not something you gain. It is what remains when distortion is removed. Silently affirm, I am clear. I am aligned. I am life expressing itself. Now understand, you are not here to control life. You are here to align with it. Intelligence that formed you knows how to move you. Trust the current. No force, no resistance, just precision. Now gently bring awareness back to the body. Feel your breath. Feel your chest. Feel your hands and feet, but remain connected to the stillness within. Now affirm slowly. Life is alive through me and as me. I am renewed in every moment. I am not separate from creation. I am creation aware of itself. Sit in stillness. No effort. No seeking. Just being. Now take a deep breath in through the nostrils and fully exhale through the mouth. And so we say together, and so it is. Amen.
Amen.
Today is our April Vitality Sunday. Last week we were here. We picked up on our series alignment and transurfing reality. As I said, it will go with us for most part of the year, or we will go with it for most part of the year. what struck with you of what we shared last week? Anyone at all?
I think for me last week we talked about the energy game of the pendulum, and we talked mainly on how the pendulum, controls our thoughts, grips our attention, and we give all our energies to it. And most of the time, we think the things that we don't really want is what we focus on, we think on, and give all our attention to it. And we also, a lot of us also think that reality is external. The things that we see outside, we blame politicians, we blame everybody else around us, apart from we ourselves.
It's good. You. Jay or Samuel, whichever of you fancy. How does this align with what we were learning this morning? Or because the adults don't come to children's service, you can bless them with the insights that you can pull out. So,
What about time and change?
yeah.
In the earlier service, we talked about how we don't move through time. And time isn't exactly how we originally thought it was, but time is just change. When your clock ticks, it is just comparing what once was to what is now. Because let's say everything froze, nothing moved, no atoms moved, no processes happened. Time would just be meaningless without the change that comes with it. We also talked about how we talked about the idea of space-time. Now, the past and the future aren't necessarily points in time, but more points that live on this landscape known as space-time, that live with the present. And whilst we can't necessarily see to the future as we can the past, it doesn't mean it's not there yet. It's not already, it's still predetermined. We can't access it as we can our memories.
You done?
Yeah, okay. I think I'm done.
You've redeemed your brothers. That's good. And as I keep saying, some of these things we don't take for granted. And I think you've captured it quite well. And he was like, "Oh, Dad, can we do more sessions that align with physics?" Because it makes better sense to me. I like that. Because even as adults, some of these things I think on, they come through observation. And many of us are trapped into the thinking that the present, we've got phases of time, we've got the past, the present, the future, and that the present moment is trapped in between the past and the future. But that's not it. It's an illusion. Because even if you want to think, you can only think about the past and the future in the now. So all of time is the moment. Now, ever continuous motion. Time is change. Time is motion. And if you are confused, you look at your clock. The hour, the second, and it moves. It goes all the way around. It comes back where it starts, and just it doesn't continue traveling from one point to the other. That's time. Okay.
This early hours of this morning, I was listening to last week's message. And I was just listening to, I was going to call you very early before you even called me. I was around like 6-ish. You know, you listen to something and it hits you, and like, just going to call you and say, these are the things that you teach, the things I would say. Maybe in theory, if you ask me to explain what you said last week, I might not be able to. But as I'm listening, I see the things I do every day, the questions I ask myself every day, the practices. I see you saying it like in those theories that you've been saying. Last week, I was driving to work. And I know this happens to most of us, or every one of us, every now and then. And for the first time, I stopped. I was close to work, but I stopped. And I was asking myself, what happened? You know, that feeling, you're going to work. You've used that road over and over and over and again. That sometimes you go and you don't know how you got to work, but you ended up there.
Yeah.
But Rep, this time last week, it was so serious that I had to stop. And I was thinking, how did I get here?
How did I get there?
I got scared and I began to question myself. Was I careful driving? Was I not because there are a lot of roundabout. There's big Stonehenge roundabout, the one that leads to Amesbury, and then there's small Stonehenge roundabout that leads to Shooting. I passed all those roundabouts.
You didn't.
I was almost at work and I realized I'm almost at work. What happened? Where did I pass? Which road did I use? Rev, I panicked. And I'm telling you, I parked for a few minutes and I began to rethink my route again. Did I use this route? I don't remember passing any roundabout. So I don't remember using any roundabout, but I had almost gotten to work. And so last 2 weeks when we were talking about pendulum not needing our permission, but we need to pay attention, we need to give our attention and our emotions, I was just thinking to myself, is this the script that I'm moving? That is how it ought to be. I only need to put attention to. Because I didn't think about it, but I just got to work. And then the fear gripped me. Hey, so what if I got into an accident with a car? Because I don't think I looked on my right, because we give way to the right. I don't think I did that.
You just drove.
But I just drove. Did I do that when I got to the roundabout? I was asking myself a lot of questions, and I said, well, I'm here anyway. Next time I need to pay. So I said to myself, next time I need to pay more attention. The default set in. Now I want to give pendulum the permission to do that. Instead of, like you're saying, it doesn't need my permission. It only needs my attention, my emotion. It is happening. And so when you made a statement that one of the dangerous illusions is when we become conditioned to the idea that this is who I am. And that is how society has conditioned us. So we don't allow ourselves, give ourselves the permission for the script to happen, and then we follow the script, because there are a lot, like what we say, there are a lot of scripts. Any decision you want to make, there's a script for that. But sometimes we want to infuse our thought into it. Like we always say, like we are not thinking. Thoughts are passing, and whichever resonates with us, we move with it. But some people want to think that we are thinking. So I'm thinking I'm going to work. And so I'm thinking that when I get here, I need to do this. I'm thinking that when I get here, but it is happening. And so this thing that you are teaching us, it is very practical. Something that is always happening to us, but we don't put our minds to it. So Joshua is right. I think we need to do more of this that aligns with physics and our everyday life. Because things are happening that we can't explain. Our traditional church settings don't teach us this. Physics, we are not taught, physics or science and religion, we are not able to know the difference or see where the two come to bed. And I think that when we are able to know where physics or where science and spirituality collide, our lives will be better. We'll be able to explain that most of the things that we do without getting afraid because of spirituality or having too much doubt because science is not able to explain it. So it is true. This thing that you are teaching, they are powerful, Rev. And we are really, really learning a lot. We might not be able to, when you ask recap, we might not be able to recap it as you want it, but it is happening. And we are. For me, I'm experiencing it every day. That's what I live by. The theories that you give when I'm driving, when I'm walking with the kids, when I'm doing everything, I begin to see, Rev was saying this. I feel it, I'm experiencing it now. So that's why you were explaining it this way. So this is what it means, and it really helps. So God bless.
Yes, sir. But all deep, ancient esoteric teachers, they were all scientists. All of them.
Science was birthed from it.
We can't separate science from spirit. Science is spirit. So most of us are not trapped by life. People do observe, yeah? Someone was telling me, Rev, yes, this last week, I've realized every time you start to teach, you first make a pungent statement, and I didn't even realize that's what I do. I was like, the first thing you say just catches my attention. I'm like, okay, where is this going? And this statement I just made, I don't even know where it's come from. It just caught my attention. I said something I've not really thought about. It's easy for us to say that most of us are trapped by life, isn't it? Like life has trapped most of us. But I came to a realization last night. Most of us are not trapped by life. But what really traps us is the state or the condition from which we keep interpreting life. The state or the condition from which we keep interpreting life is what traps us. Life has not caught it, has not caught us like a web catches a spider. No. But our thinking and how we interpret life, the state of our mind, the state of our consciousness, is what becomes our trap. Think about it.
You are right, Rev. It doesn't need thinking about. And I think that is what life is about. We've trapped ourselves with timings. So at 40 years, I should be able to do this, do that. Because at 40, I've not done this. I'm trapped by life. The things have not happened for me. Who put all those things? Who put all those timings? By 30, you should do this. By 40, you should do that. So by 40, if you've not done it, you're not happy because you've not been able to do that. What if by the script that thing that you want at 40 will happen at 60? What if by the script it will happen at 70? You're not allowing life to happen through us. We have put timings to life, and then when it doesn't happen as we want it, we think we are trapped by life. We haven't been trapped by life. We are putting timings to life, something that is happening on its own. So we are right, yeah.
Interpretation. So that's why the same person can leave a job, for instance. They can leave a relationship, can leave a town, a city, a house. They can even leave a church. They leave a system. And still, the same drama that they were experiencing in the space that they left follows them with just a different face. I go to every church and I get sacked. The problem weren't the churches I went through. The problem was me and my trouble that I bring to everywhere I go.
And by associating with you, I'm getting the same. I need to disassociate myself.
You see, so it's just our interpretations, because the scene might change, the scenery might change, but the frequency or the consciousness, the state, the awareness, it remains. And that hit me. If you don't like the outcomes, change the frequency. Going back to where we started this year with the mirror principles. If you don't like the reflection, don't change the mirror, change the projection. Change what you are projecting to the mirror, and the reflection will change. Madness is to look at a mirror and expect the mirror to smile before you smile. If you want a mirror to look at you smiling, you smile first at it. It's what we bring to life that ultimately dictates the outcomes we get out of it. Last week we ended off and I said that I would want us to just go lightly from the start of this session into Neville Goddard's Feeling in the Sacred.
Just a quick one. I was just looking at the YouTube video, and someone had put a comment down there, saying that this is hard to hear and understand. I don't know what they meant by that.
Yeah, no, it was on our YouTube thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Did you see it?
I think, yeah, I saw it and I responded to them. I'm not sure if they, I'm not sure exactly what they're getting at. So yeah, so we'll do it, but yeah, I saw it. Right. Yeah, well, because I couldn't really understand what they were getting at. Is it because of my accent? Is it because of what I was saying that wasn't audible? What I was saying wasn't not clear?
That's the same thing I thought anyway.
It was a bit too vague. So I've asked them to clarify exactly what they didn't get, but until they get back, I wouldn't have an answer.
I saw it, but I thought is the message, which is good. When I saw, I was happy. Even before the message, it's not news. It's not new. It is also good to happen like that, because Peter said the same thing. Of which Brother Paul began to speak of, which was something hard for us to understand. There's things that we do say, like there are some things that it will take time, and I'll come back to you again. Oh, Rev, that time you said this. Now I understand. I'm sat here with you all the time. You say some things, I want me to go like it, but it will take a while for me to get it. So it's understandable. But when a person comes up like that, we can address it like individually. But there's nothing wrong if some people are finding it hard to understand.
Yeah, I agree with you, because when I read it, I thought, okay, what are they trying to say? Is it the accent, the note, or I mean, hearing the audio? But when they put understand, then I kind of thought, okay, maybe it's more of the whole
content,
message. Yeah. So
understanding will come, and if the fellow is listening to us, just keep listening. It will drop. Here a little, there a little. Understanding will come. And when Neville says the feeling is a secret, I've been a student of ASCO. I've never got that for years. And it's one concept I've heard a lot of people try to explain on YouTube and all of that. Sometimes you feel like you understand it. And when later on, it took Mark 11 for me to really get what he was saying. Obviously, it made sense, because after that, being a Jewish rabbi, taught everything he taught from his understanding of Jewish scriptures. And I believe a lot of people misunderstand this. I'm just connecting this to pendulums. Because we think, so you know what, let me just ask a question. When we say feeling is a secret, or feeling is a frequency, as I now call it, what comes to your mind? What does it even mean? You don't have to force yourself to create stuff if nothing is coming. What does it even mean?
I think for me, it just means that for us, for you, whatever, let me use the easy to understand one. Whatever you desire, it might not just be material, whatever it is, whatever you want to be. Let's say you want to become a doctor, you want to become a data science, you want to change jobs, you want to have a certain character, you want to stop any habits, whatever it may be. In order for you to realize it, you need to feel the feeling of it as if you've already had it or you already are it. You need to like be in there constantly. Like that is like it's past tense. There's nothing you're desiring so much anymore. You are it. That's my understanding of that.
Any different thought? So people misunderstand this, thinking that a feeling is excitement, or the feeling means intensity, or forcing yourself or forcing your body to produce a spiritual mood, demand. Whatsoever things you pray or you ask for in my name, be surrounded by the feeling that you have it, and you have it. If I know that I am producing products for evolutionary impact, can I be anxious about having it? Can't be anxious about it. Already the state that you dwell in. And it's not something that you can create fictitiously. Because if you try creating it fictitiously, your core belief will fight you. Saying I'm rich, but deep down within you, the bank balance is staring at you and making you doubt yourself. I believe something more precise is being pointed out here when we talk about the feelings. Is the.
Can I quickly share something?
Yeah, go on.
I think I'll say beginning of the year or 2 months, 3 months ago, I had this goal where I wanted to make part of my business, part of the service I wanted to add to my business was making like candles for people who have occasions like weddings and things like that. And whilst I'm making my candles like for my normal sales, I'd imagine that I was doing it, or like in the process of what I was doing, imagine that it was for someone's wedding, And just this week, a friend called me and said, oh, she's into events now and someone wants to book her for, what's it called, for decorations. And she thought about me. The person is looking for gifts to give to a guest, and she thought about me that, oh, I could make a candle for the person. And that was it. Just that. And, I mean, it wasn't any, I've even forgotten it, I've already felt it, imagine myself doing it. This was months ago. And now I'm seeing and realizing. And with so many other things. So really, when we position ourselves in the act of it already, it just happens. And then afterwards, I was doing that. I was writing another one, with the same feeling of this one happening right now. What I would do, okay, I've received the order, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and I'm pocketing my money, the parts that I need to pocket, the great feeling of it.
Also, feel paying tithe to the church, okay? Have that feeling as well.
Yeah. I think it's one of my challenges that I don't, when I love money, but I don't know, for some reason, I don't remember ever praying for money. I don't recall. I think I need to start doing more of that. Releasing myself into material manifestations. But that's powerful. I like that. Yeah, I know. Obviously, I'm aware of the story. Yeah. Important.
And the thing is, it was kind of effortless, when you already put that in place. The thing comes effortlessly. You don't, I'm not now going to negotiate. Oh, please come and do it. It just happens with effortlessly because I've already put that emotion, feeling already months ago.
It's easy. As we say, when you eat, you don't give any instruction to your stomach to break food down. What is already, the state is created for it to do it. That's how it bring that same consciousness to everything. Power doesn't force itself. Power doesn't announce itself. It just acts. And if you need to force it, then it's not power. It's not. So the feeling is not emotional performance. It's an inner occupancy. It's a state. Unfeigned, unfiltered, not touched. It just is. The atmosphere you live in before you speak. The assumption that, so that's why Neville will say, I love it. He says that assumptions harden into facts when persisted in long enough. The assumption beneath your thinking. The conclusions that our being, our psyche, our nervous system has already made about life. It's not, you can't force it. If someone may say that, oh, I'm blessed, but inwardly they may be feeling disappointed. Oh, I am peace, I choose peace. But deep down within you, you're secretly preparing for conflict. Oh, the recent one, oh, I'm trusting life. By we say in history, you are trusting life. Wow. You're constantly searching for evidence of what's gone wrong. Your words may be noble, but your intentions may not be consistent with what you say and feel. feelings, the occupied state. Because reality never responds to our declarations. It responds to the state that you have normalized as you. Joseph Murphy said something years ago. I listened to Joseph Murphy say something years ago and it stuck with me. He says that a mind that is at ease always finds the answers. So when the mind is at ease, the wisdom of the subconscious mind rises to the surface. It is pointless to talk about money struggles. Feel and operate from the abundance that you are. That changed me. I think this is one place where desire fails us. So desire says, I want this, but the state says, I don't have it. So your desire is in conflict with your inner state. And unfortunately, our inner state is our loudest voice. Fix the state. So it puts us in a space where we are constantly worshiping what we fear. Negative prayer. The form of prayer that most of us don't recognize, we don't realize. That prayer happens in your mind at 2 a.m. when you're lying on your bed and you wake up suddenly in the middle of the night. When your imagination goes wild and is chatting on losses. Oh, my bank balance is going down. Oh, I've only got 2 pence in my account and all these things which creep onto us. In reality, truth is talking about money. You know, some say it's a good thing to genuinely. I'm so bad. I've become so bad for it that sometimes I'll probably go a whole month and I will have looked in my bank account maybe 2 or 3 times. Somebody stole money from my account. I didn't even notice it. No. For about 2 months. And it's not because the account is flooded with money, but because I'm like, I know that whatever I need to do with money, it will be there when I need it. Don't fret about it. Don't fret about it. Don't fret about it. When your memory keeps replaying instances of humiliation, instances of disappointment, when your mind is set on disappointment, disasters, things that we feed our mind. Some of these, we talk about this all the time. Some of these things that we open ourselves to on social media. If only we know the damage it does. Negative prayer, saturating nothing, no information ever leaves you the same. See, no information. It will either add to you or take something from you. Even including those of us who believe we are immune to naughty stuff. There's the immunity is high, but it's only a matter of time. You may break one day. Where is your attention focused mostly? What charges you emotionally is dictating your reality. our anxiety, our worries, our fears, all of these are prayers we pray to the universe. Resentment, the prayer. Always dwelling on things going wrong, like catastrophic imagination, is prayer. Self-criticism is prayer. I'm not good at this. I'm not good at that. I can't do this. I can't do that. They are your affirmations. And the tragedy is that often people think being that means they are being responsible. No, you are seeing yourself of your own doing your life. Why should you cause God to destroy the work of your hands by what you say? Solomon said. Oh, I'm just being realistic. See? You are pronouncing what you have considered to be reality. Oh, my head, this head. Oh, my heart, this heart. Oh, I'm like, oh. Can you see the vital, the vital and the bounce and the health is you? And bring that to the center. Oh, but I'm being realistic. I'm talking about the reality. A friend of mine tells me, oh, Pap, even if I went, I don't have money, I can't even tell you because I don't know how to say it. I'm saying that's good. It's good that you can't find the ways to express your lack to me, which is a very good place to be. Why? Because the struggles, they can't embrace the forceful words to talk the solution, to talk the default state instead of the temporal symptoms. So I'd rather you don't even talk to me about it until you find the right way. For how forcible our right words, Leo says, Joe, but what does your argument prove? Always giving ourselves excuses to be out of alignment with what reality is. Always in the space where we feel like we are preparing ourselves for something to come and never assuming the state of what is. Making sure that I don't get hurt again because I've had a bad experience. Rehearsing what we don't want consistently. And this sometimes becomes imprisonment. Because it keeps you loyal to that frequency of danger, loss, disappointment. Feeling a constant collapse of the things that we rehearse. We are more familiar with the things which go wrong than we are with what goes or what turns out with our desirable out or as a desirable outcome. And that's one of the ways pendulums keep people bound. Familiarity. It's always been like this. So we don't even realize it's just a pendulum that is swaying. We've always done it. We have always done it this way. This is how we do it here. As for me, this is this is how I am. You don't stop and examine, okay, what pendulum is swaying. See, like in my workplace, there is a certain pendulum in the office. Almost everyone takes their lunch by their desk. It's a pendulum. So it's entrenched so much so that when you take, or if you take, let's say, if you take 30 minutes, 40 minutes away from your desk, from your desk, it is seen as off. Not that anyone will tell you it's off, but the culture of the place will make you feel like it's off. That is a pendulum. See? Designed to keep you bound to a system When you become aware of it, you move out of its way. And how do we bring our awareness to this? Listen to the voice in your head. The commentator, the judge, the warrior. Warrior here meaning the one who worries, one who defends, the judge tries to justify, one who turns one event into a whole identity. Something happens and all of a sudden our narratives turns it into an identity rather than leaving it as an event. Someone looks at you strangely or in a way that you consider strange, and your interpretation straight away is, they don't respect me. This always happens. People are fake. He's not a nice person. I know that I can't trust this person with the way they look at me. But pause and ask yourself, who is hearing this voice? I can't go over this enough. And as I said last week, if you can hear the voice, then you are not the voice. If you can think the thought, then clearly you are not the thought. You just remain in observer mode. And that's the difficult part for most of us, where we get it twisted, and we get ourselves intertwined with what we call reality. A witness does not partake in a crime scene. The moment you partake in a crime scene, you are no longer a witness. You are a culprit. If you remain in observer mode, you have a cleansed state. Thoughts fly. You want to participate in the thought. And then it becomes you. It doesn't. Then you are not free. You feel bound. You feel like you need to do something about it. You feel like you feel like you stress, and the energy of the thought just carries you with it. Tell you, my journey into this concept started with listening to ayahuasca Catholic years ago. And if it's one thing, if you only want to tell me one thing that has helped me, is when I learned to recognize the monkey mind and tame the monkey mind, and not get actively engrossed in thought. But that's where all suffering begins. Positivity. And that's how to let go or release your inner contradictions. That's how not to feed what's called the pendulum. Sometimes we don't realize how addicted we have become to thought. You can sit there, you have conversations in your head. Yao did this to me. When I see him, if he says that without even the person saying it, you already create a story. If he says this, I'll say that, and when he doesn't say this, and you before you realize, like 10 minutes, you are sat there thinking rubbish.
It always happens. Sometimes I'll be creating problem with somebody in my mind. I know you say this. This is what I'm going to say, and then for a long period, you've created a scene, a fight, an argument of what each one of you will say, and the result. And before you come back to yourself, oh, so why are you even thinking this?
It's just bullcrap, you know.
Probably the person is somewhere enjoying their life,
you know, and you are sat there having a dialogue in your head, fighting. I mean, creating a scene of disturbing yourself, And the sad thing is sometimes we can make ourselves fall so deeply for this assumption, we begin to recreate it. It becomes your reality. And now you need to find a space to fulfill it. For me, this is the secret. Remain the observer. Starve the pendulum. Do not surrender your inner peace to every little disturbance that knocks on the door. What the pendulum seeks to do, it doesn't really want to defeat you. It only seeks to provoke you into becoming predictable. To the point that, oh, the moment it sways this way, this is how you're going to react. This is how you're going to act. This is how you're going to, react. As Carl Jung says, so I repeat, until the unconscious is made conscious, to direct your life, and you will live and call it fate. In as much as this sounds devastating, it is practical. The pendulum doesn't swing and hook us in the same place. It doesn't hook all of us in the same place. It hooks each and every one of us in the places that we have not resolved yet. Similar to what I was saying earlier in my workplace. When I realized, because of this awareness, I straight away realized, this is a pendulum. So you can even feel guilty if you're moving away from your desk 30 minutes, 40 minutes to go have lunch. Because everyone brings their lunch, puts it next to them, they are working, they're eating, they're working, they're eating. And if it forces you to comply without, even against your wish, and you don't even realize it. And even when you want to jump out of it, it feels off to you. Because it's become a stronghold, it's entrenched. Praying that these sessions begin to open us up to identify the pendulums which are driving us. And if it's not one that has got a positive spin, recognize it and take yourself out of its way. I do that constantly. So like I say, for instance, in work, regardless who is watching, regardless whatever, when I say I will get out, I will move from my desk, go to my car, go for a walk, whatever. Use the prayer room, come back. I'm not bothered who go 30 minutes, 40 minutes, it wasn't on my desk. It's my break time. I do what I want to do with it. Everybody will be sat, I'll just get up, shut my laptop and go. Feel free to talk. I'm not breaking any law. It's an unspoken rule, and I don't want to subject myself to the rule. I'm off. If you carry rejection in your heart, you will experience rejection everywhere. You will detect it's all you're going to see. If you're someone who carries shame, always thinking, I say this to them all the time, and some other friends, always thinking, oh, somebody is saying this, somebody is doing that, this is causing me embarrassments and all of that. Even neutral feedback can feel like an exposure. Because you're carrying an idea of not wanting to feel embarrassed. You know, someone told me, we're having a chat, on this same platform. And Emma said something, and I'm like, I quizzed her. I'm like, oh, are you sure about this? Someone called me in the back and like, so did you have to talk to your wife like that? I'm like, whoa, how did I talk? You know what did I say? But But it's like, okay, even if she says something and it's wrong, do you have to? I'm like, whoa. You see? Conditioning. She says something, and I'm like, oh, is this really what the person said? Trying to get her to rethink it, or trying to have a bit of a recall. Because in someone's mind, we can't, we don't. The pendulum that is swaying that person is, we don't call people out in public because it will make them feel embarrassed. See? I am only trying to bring our attention to how pendulums operate without our realization sometimes. And I'm sure we can all identify with it. If someone carries guilt, for instance, everything that comes from the other person will seem like, or from someone else will seem like a disappointment. See? If you carry inferiority, for instance, status systems will own your imagination. Your imagination will be dictated by things that make you feel, oh, okay, so this person is doing that to me because I am this, that's been that to me because I'm that, this is happening because of this, that's why I'm being disadvantaged, and all these things which control our narratives. So the outer world becomes an inner wound. The pendulums will knock where our psyche is already cracked. Where there's a defect in your thinking, where there's a defect in your self-belief, where there's a defect in your awareness, that is where the pendulum knocks. And then it sips and takes you over. So the work is not really, it's not, I mean, I'm saying this, and it's not about avoiding pendulums, no. But finding the answer, what in me keeps responding and answering this pendulum? What in me keeps reacting this way? What in me causes me to see things this way? When you begin to ask those questions, you will be able to identify the pendulum that is swaying. And for me, that has been the beginning of my sovereignty. You take responsibility. No blaming, no self-condemnation, just illumination. Because the moment you become conscious of what is swaying, it loses its authority. But when you're unconscious of it, it moves you, it dictates you, it drives you, and you don't even realize it. And the unfortunate and the sad part is you accept it as you and how it should be, because you haven't identified the subtle pendulum that is swaying it and moving behind it, the hand that is controlling it. So this is just to expose us to the hand that controls the pendulum so that we can free ourselves from it. The moment it shows up, you know what, I recognize what is swaying. It's not going to get a reaction out of me. I am aware. And then in trying to end, I'll say I have identified three. I was having this chat with Pastor Prince the other day, and I've identified three strings which pull us. String of fear, guilt, and anxiety. Fear is the fastest of all of them, because it will bypass your wisdom and kick you straight into survival. Fear is what narrows our world into threats. So when a string of fear, it's gripping most of us now. When it pulls, You see everything as a threat to existence. It forces you into survival. It's a pendulum. Guilt, however, is more subtle. So I've thought about fear, guilt, and anxiety. If you don't, you can forget about everything I've said today. Remember these three things. Okay. Guilt is more subtle. Guilt is what will make obedience feel like morality. I will deal with this subject at a later point, but the subject of morality in the eyes of religion. That topic came to my heart 3 days ago. I wrote it down, like I will develop this. There's so many things we do in the name and in the context of morality, but they are just acts of fear. Fear. And it's subtle, we accept it as a moral code. So when you obey it, you feel like you're being moral about it by even obeying it. I was sharing something with Amma, something that Osho said. How we can show, like primetime TV news, you can show videos of people killing, murdering people, war and all of that, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Yeah, people killing people. But let a sex scene, a live sex scene pop up on your TV around that time is condemned. Which is more dangerous? Watching people having sex or watching people kill people? Which is more moral? There's something wrong with us. Sadly, the preachers who scream and who jump a lot about morality, they have 6, 7 girlfriends. They are all struggling. They are masturbating at night. Hypocrites and parasites. Why? Because a guilty person becomes easy to manage. Because a guilty person doesn't need anybody to police them, but they police themselves. True or true? When you're feeling guilty, you don't even need anybody to, you police yourself. And it opens the door to fear again. Anxiety. Anxiety doesn't even require danger to be present. It only keeps your mind vibrating around a possible danger. And that's why it can be so exhausting. I have identified the strengths: fear, guilt, anxiety. It will exhaust you, it will waste you. So your body keeps paying energy towards events which have not happened. And pendulums loves this. It's the greatest food for pendulums. So that's why the ancient says, cowards die a million times before their death. See? An anxious person doesn't require a battlefield. They carry one on their inside and walk with it everywhere they go. Constantly battling with something, constantly fighting with something. And the media even makes it worse. If I'm being pushed to the wall and asked one thing that the media feeds on, I would just say pendulums. The media space understands pendulum than spiritual people, spiritual people do. Because they know that attention is not neutral. Attention is fuel. It's the price we pay to get anything done in life. The price we pay to get anything done in life is attention. It's fuel. So what do? The people who produce games, apps, they use pendulums. So they shape it around our fear, conflict, urgency. Makes you feel like I have to do Charlie, this episode. Oh, the way it ended. Oh, I need to watch it. I need to watch the full. I need to watch it before I realize you've gone 100 hours. They know. They will use the pen. They will use the energy of attention to drive you. So good news doesn't sell because we don't pay attention to good. So fear, scandals, outrage, humiliation, conflict. When people do good things, we don't talk about it long enough. Lumba said nearly 2 years, we will still be talking about it. And the truth is not because those things are the whole of reality. No, because they are emotionally profitable. That is what we want to feed our emotions on. That is what makes our blood thick. So they exploit it. System is not designed to inform you. It's to train your nervous system. So wake up. So that you can come back to it. You can come back and check it again. You can come back and fear again. You can come back and rage again. Team Liga wives, Team Wana. Using your energy to feed it and drive it. Just pour it in. We are all talking about it. We're all talking about feeding it.
A good amount for a cry. Now, if you are here with your wife and you want to go to Ghana, cry, you are a suspect.
because you've got some because
Luma went to Ghana and he's a suspect now. So now, if you are going to Ghana, you're a suspect.
So but it's just what it is. To bring you to it so that you can take sides again and drive you. Be aware. Your freedom, your awareness is your sovereignty. Catch yourself from falling. Realize the things which you're giving your attention to which aren't profitable. I tell the boys, I live the rest of my life and not play and not play any game or whatever, and I wouldn't feel like I'm not missing anything. I'm like, guys, you get tired of playing this. You get tired. I'm not missing nothing. Can live the rest of my life without drinking fruit juice, without drinking soda, and I am not missing anything. I don't consider myself to be missing it. It's not adding anything to me. So not having it, I won't miss anything. Live the rest of my life without having a cheeseburger, without having a McDonald's, without having KFC, and I wouldn't miss anything. Awareness is sovereignty. Can be informed without feeling invaded. You can care without feeling the need to be consumed by it. You can respond to our world without allowing the world to colonize your inner throne. And for me, that is the difference between maturity and manipulation. You mature, pendulum can't manipulate you. Awareness is maturity. Should I end it? It feels like I've been talking for so long, man. But sometimes I'll feel like this. By the time I go and check the what's it called, the timestamp. I have not even spoken for 40 minutes. But it feels so long.
No, it's because you are not saying hallelujah, praise the Lord. You are
No,
just
no punctuation. All right, has anyone got anything to add? We can wrap up and get into our healing of vitality.
Oh, the story that I was saying, the lady that there's one thing she said that I didn't share. She was like, Amma, because of how quick the lady responded and then how everything went. She was like, Amma, what God are you serving? I want to serve that God. I hope it's a living God.
Who was that?
Yvonne, you don't know her. I think you
Okay.
know her, yeah. Yvonne.
And why was she saying that?
No, she was the one who linked me with the person who wanted to make the candles.
Yeah,
It
okay.
went kind of
Yeah,
fast for
yeah,
her, yeah.
Yeah. But am I making sense of what I'm saying?
Yeah, you are.
Why should a bad moment become a bad day? A disturbance enters. You react. Another one appears, and another. And soon your day feels like it's cursed. What really happens is it's not a curse. But it's because you have allowed yourself to perpetuate a certain frequency. That's what we are seeking to become aware of. Break, maybe. I just had to stand because what I'm about to do requires standing. I want us to just close your eyes wherever you are right now. Just breathe normally. And rotate your head anti-clockwise 7 times. Now, after the 7th one, breathe out. Ooh. And just relax. Just observe breathing happen. Just feel the breath. Still a no. Not as an idea, not as comfort, but as a recognition. There is one life, and that life is whole. That life is present here, now. And as us. We aren't gathered here to beg for healing. We aren't gathered here, we are not seated here, we are not congregating here to wrestle with appearances. We stand in the authority of truth to pronounce what is, until that which appears and not consistent with what is dissolves before it. Infinite presence, unseen yet undeniable. The intelligence that breathes through galaxies and whispers through the human heart. We acknowledge you. Not as distant, but the very substance of our being. Very life in our breath, the light in our awareness, the power in our becoming. And so we declare, there is no life but you. There is no vitality outside of you. And there is no lack within you. The body of life, we call now not outward but inward to the ancient forces that already move in and as us. O living earth, bearer of structure, of memory and renewal, restore the body of every soul gathered in here under the sound of my voice and under influence of love. Stabilize the system. Rebuild what has been weakened. Let bones and sinews align with truth. Let flesh remember vitality. And let our bodies stand again in their own original desires. Take a deep breath in and out. Sacred breath, carry off thought, awareness, and direction. Clear confusion in every mind. Calm anxiety. Dissolve mental turbulence and disturbance. Let the mind become still enough to reflect truth. Let clarity replace fear. Let thought align with wisdom. To the fires of transformation and power. The divine flame, force of purification and transformation and transmutation. Burn away all distortion, consume stagnation, ignite vitality. Let what no longer serves be released without struggle. Let courage rise. Let life force return with intensity and purpose. O sacred waters, healer of memory, and a reconciler of experience. Wash away grief, soothe the heart, restore emotional balance. Let forgiveness flow, let compassion soften, let peace return to the inner world, and be etched in the souls of all humanity. Hear this clearly. We are not healing by force. We are not healing by effort. We are returning to vitality and healing by our recognition. That which appears as illness is not opposing power. It is a misalignment of what's called of perception. A shadow where light has not yet been shown or seen. And so in this moment, we turn on the light of vitality and renaissance. By the authority of the divine presence and the infinite presence, that which is disordered, we declare it return to order. That which is wicked strengthens. That which is burdened is released. That which is fragmented is restored and made whole. Not gradually, not someday, but in the eternal now where this truth resides, we declare, let it be. Let minds release their attachment to fear, anxiety, and guilt. Let identity separate from pain. Let memory no longer dictate destiny. We declare, peace is natural in our natural state. Clarity is natural in our natural state. Balance is natural. The soul is not wounded. The soul is not broken. The soul is only remembering. Let every cell under the sound of my voice respond to the intelligence that created it. Let the body no longer struggle against itself. Let systems harmonize. Let energy recirculate. Let vitality rise naturally, effortlessly, without strain. Life heals life. Life supports life. Let division dissolve in the light of unity. Let misunderstanding give way to recognition. We declare there is one humanity expressing through many forms. Let this truth resonate all throughout this planet. Let relationships be restored through awareness. Let communication flow with truth and compassion. Let communities, nations, kingdoms rise in harmony. Hear this with clarity. Lack is not a law. Scarcity is not truth. Abundance is the natural movement and the natural rhythm of life. We therefore declare provision flows, opportunities open, resources begin to align, not through struggle, but through alignment with the intelligence of supply and fluency. There is within each and every one of us a self-regulating, a self-healing, and a self-renewing intelligence. And we call this intelligence and this energy to action, and we call it to life. Ancient traditions knew it. Mystics have gathered it up until this point, and now we are remembering it. It doesn't require permission. It only requires our recognition. And we bring ourselves to this recognition right now. We activate this right now. The life within me, as me, restores me and restores you as well. The intelligence within us guides us. And the power within us sustains all of us. Now feel this, not as words, but as your own resounding reality. You aren't waiting for healing. You are standing in it. You aren't waiting for vitality. You are stood in it, expressing it in its grandest measure and form. You are not becoming whole. You are recognizing wholeness. You are not seeking life. You are life expressing itself consciously. Carry this, knowing beyond this moment. As your presence has become healing, as your presence has become vitality, as your awareness has become light, let your life become the evidence of this truth. Where you walk, let peace flow. Where you emerge, let vitality resound. Where you stand, let clarity rise. Everywhere you are, may life remember itself. And so we seal this work in this man's vitality session. Not in hope, but in a sure knowing. It is established, it is active, and it is complete. And so it is. Allow yourself to return to consciousness in the space where you are. Scratch your left knee and the right. Feel the differences in sensation. Rub your palms together. Gently touch where your theta is situated a few times. Then rub your palms over your face 3 times. Peace. Bless us.